Hosanna in the
Jesus said in Mark 16 and 15 to go out into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. That instruction applies to us, you know. I believe we should go out into all the world and preach the gospel. But I don't believe we should just simply preach the gospel by word. Anybody can do that. Anybody can preach the gospel from a sermon, from a piece of paper. Anybody can. But the true dignity of the gospel is done by our actions. It's given by our deeds, what we've done. The Bible says, whatsoever thou doest shall prosper. And I believe this is doing time. Did you know every 3.6 seconds, a person dies from hunger? And 75% of those people are children. That's a shame. And I believe we can do something about it. Now, I don't know exactly what your economic position is at this time. You may have a lot of money, you may not have a lot of money. But I find it so interesting that everybody I speak to overseas, maybe in Liberia, maybe in places in Europe, they consider us rich and wealthy here in America. And not so much because of money, but it's mostly because we have access to water and food and job opportunities. You know, certain things we see as everyday essentials, they perceive it as luxuries because their access to it is so scarce. For the entire month of November, as a responsible ministry, I think we have a response to make to this hunger. And in the entire month of November, Cosmo Nations, which is our newest ministry, is launching our campaign, which is called Imaginations. Imaginations allows you to sow into the lives of people, not only from the 4-block radius that you live in, but it's allowing you to sow into the lives of people in the community overseas, because that's our community as well. So I encourage you, I charge you, I beckon you to sow into Imaginations, sow into Cosmo Nations, so that we can send money overseas. It's also my vision to build a budget for a mission team that we can send on an assignment. We can do this because the hunger is out there. It's our job to respond. When there was a great multitude, Jesus and his disciples were standing before them, and they were all hungry. The disciples were troubled, and they asked Jesus, they said, Jesus, what do we do with all these people? They're hungry. We don't know what to do. Jesus looked at them, I can almost see him saying this, looked at them and said, feed them. And I believe that's what he's saying to us as the church today. So imagine nations being fed through our ministry. Imagine nations being touched by the revelation of Christ through your service. There are so many nations out there that they're 10% Christian maybe and 90% atheist. But we have a work to do. We have a job to do, and we can respond to that. And I believe we can do that very soon. So come on with me to Imaginations in this month's campaign. This is Cosmo Nations. Let's get to work.